Well, good evening, everyone.
Hello, Queens of the IE, coming to you once again. We have
Rosemary.
Big J, Josh.
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 And today we're talking about internet dating. So Rosemary and Josh were given a task to sign up to some online dating sites about a month and a half, 2 months ago. Yeah.
Because it's February, by February 13th,
Yes.
We made
They were supposed to go on 3 dates apiece
What happened?
by this time,
Right.
so that we could see what their experiences were.
You want to go first?
You know the internet ain't shit, so.
So, Josh found one.
Yes.
Josh and Rosemary were really picky during this.
Okay, we're not picky. We have
Expectations.
standards and expectations.
Exactly.
Rosemary was
list.
in the shock and awe of dick pics and videos. Like it wasn't something normal that we do.
I mean, 2019, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We should
2019
have left out a
Rosemary.
year ago, but hey, you know, people out here. And then in my situation, you know, people with kids, but they didn't want to find like they didn't have kids, so that was annoying.
See,
No, bro, you
wanna
didn't
do
read the
kids.
profile.
I didn't.
That's
It was my
what-
fault. It was my
that's
fault.
what he didn't do.
I
He
didn't-
didn't read the profile.
I seen pictures. I said based off looks, she cute, and I looked in the profile after
10
I
babies.
messaged her. Yeah, she was mother of two.
You can work
I said,
with that.
Yeah, you can't count out, I think, women these days who have kids, because those women who have kids, like, they're doing for themselves. They're still independent.
100%.
So you can't just knock them and not give them a try. because
But
they
at the
have
same
kids.
time, they're in a different place in their life, and I'm not there in that place yet. You know what I'm saying?
He's not ready to be a daddy.
Right.
Stepdaddy.
I don't want nobody saying that. That's not me. Not me.
No,
Let me live my life.
Did you bring us a tree, a Christmas gift?
Okay, so the one that you did settle for and decide to go ahead and go out on a date. Tell us about her.
Yes, so pretty much for myself, I use 3 different social media sites or social media dating sites. So it's Tinder, POF, which is Plenty of Fish.
Which we said don't use POF because anyone on POF is just looking to fuck. But go
Tinder.
ahead.
Ironically.
Tinder's like
That's
that
any
too.
website. That's anybody.
That is, I
anywhere.
feel like it's just
in
what
the
you want.
club, in the grocery store, anywhere.
That projectile be lit. Get the
I like the meat
eggplant.
section. I like the meat
The
section.
eggplants out there. Pineapples for days. But yeah, I use 4. I use Tinder, Plenty of Fish, Bumble, and Coffee Meets Bagel. So it was interesting
Wow.
because
And these are ones I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Coffee
Never heard of
meat
Big
bagels.
yeah, so it's
And
cool.
That's a
Bumble.
food group right there.
Yeah.
So it's cool about each on Tinder. You guys already know swipe left.
Yeah.
You don't like them, swipe right. For Bumble, it's the same principle as Tinder, but the girl has to. If you guys do match, the girl makes the first move, so she's the one that messages you first. And you
But
have
it's 24 hours, right?
24 hours,
Yeah.
right? So within that 24 hours, you can either choose to not reply back or reply back and create a conversation. And then Coffee Meets Bagel. They pretty much give you suggestions each day of like who may fit for you based off your preference and your profile. And then they also have the discovery page. But the only thing I hate about Coffee Meets Bagel is that you need a certain like number of beans. So they give you like it's coffee beans, right?
Okay.
So
They grind it already?
no. So think of it as
Number
like
beans?
it's like a coin system. So you start with a certain amount of beans, and if you want to go on the discover page to see like the different options, you have to have a certain number of beans to like a person. So if you don't have a certain number of beans, so like for instance, one person may cost 412 beans. If you don't have that many beans, you can't like them, which is annoying because it hinders you from
So
finding
do you
love.
start off with beans?
You do, and then you can get beans by either paying for it. That's what they get you. Paying for more.
So are the
Did you
cuter
pay for
people
beans?
with
No,
more
more
beans
beans.
and the
It's
other
just-
people have less beans?
No, it's just wherever's in your area, and then they
Oh.
for you to like their picture, you need a certain amount of beans, and then for each day though they suggest a certain person for you, but usually their suggestions are not always the top. It's really not. Like, my suggestions were trash, and I was upset.
Okay.
And I'm not
See, why were you upset though?
because
Because they were giving you suggestions?
that were not for me.
What?
Expectations.
I know what I'm saying, so I have a certain
Standards.
preference, and they over here, I legitimately outlined in my preference a certain type of person, and they want to give you the opposite.
Wait, so
Okay,
it's like
so-
an assessment? Like
It's-
you have
no.
to like
So based off your profile, you create like what preference of person you want. So like you say like I'm interested in Hispanic, African American, island,
Okay.
Asian, Pacific, right. And then from there, they'll give you that and create a suggestion based off your preference. And so for mine, I kept, no offense, I kept getting a whole bunch of white girls, and I was like, this is not what I wanted. I didn't say this is my preference. I wanted the more cultural, you know what I'm saying, I want to learn some things versus I already know everything.
Yeah,
So
white girls are mixed. You never know that.
I knew based off the suggestion that they
By
weren't.
the way, I'm not white. I'm not white. Just so we can get that out of
And
the
there's
way.
nothing wrong with white girls. That's just not my preference. So, but ironically, as they said not to go on Plenty of Fish because people were just down to fuck. And you know me, I'm trying to look for something real. But that's where I found my person at, where I ended up having a date. Took some time.
Yes. What,
But-
3 cancellations?
3 cancellations, but 4 times a charm, right?
Yes, because we were beginning to
third
think
time
she
was
was a
charm.
catfish.
Don't worry about it. The third time was different. But I feel like, too, based on my experience, the whole dating website is interesting because, again, I feel like a lot of the people that you get, it depends on your area. So what I noticed that in my city, my hometown, I got a much of different options than versus when I was like traveling, went to LA or went to Ontario. So honestly, and I feel like from there too, the level of like which people try is different. So like in my hometown, people don't try. So they'll put like any type of picture up. Like you, and it's like obviously, okay, I'm not gonna like you. You got, you know, a picture like this, and the camera blurry, you got an Android. No offense. No offense.
Excuse me, my Android take good
iPhone
pictures.
gang. So then, but you go to like some other people who actually take it seriously. It's not true. Because camera quality
It's
matters.
always crazy.
Camera quality
Hello,
matters.
did I talk to you? Yes, I did.
CQM. Camera quality matters. But then you like go to like different cities who are actually people like really trying, so they have like their good, you know, photography pictures and like pictures where they actually see who they are. And so it's just interesting getting that different perspective. But it just sucked because where I was at in my hometown, majority of the time that's where I'm at. That's the options I have. So I didn't have good options. But I noticed like back in the day, because I did Tinder when I was in college. Again, you get a whole different fish of people, and so you get, I'm not gonna say better looking people, but you get people who are actually caring and want to try to find somebody versus
Okay.
just
We're
yeah,
serious.
they're just putting pictures to put pictures, right?
Yeah.
And so, but my experience though, yeah. So I found somebody on Plenty of Fish, and it took time, but the reason why I feel like I kept pursuing is because Plenty of Fish though, they really did spend a lot of time in terms of like understanding your profile and making sure people who are actually like on your discovery are people who might match with you. So I know the person that I message, and the cool thing about it too, like if you like them, you can either like their picture and then you can wait to like you back, or you can be the more progressive type and just message them directly. And so for her, I just seen her picture and I was like, okay, she's cute or whatever. And then I messaged her, and then because I always do this late, I'll message and I look at her profile. I shouldn't do that, but I looked at her profile and a lot of stuff that we had, or that I had on my profile, she had on hers, so we had a lot in common. And so it was conversation starters, which I like. So that was one little, I feel like pro for being on social media. The only thing I don't like about dating websites though, is that I feel like they should offer like a FaceTime option, because again, you're doing all this text message, so you don't know if you are actually being catfished or not.
So this is why when I do profiles, I go and I want to know if I ask them, do you have Facebook or Instagram?
Right.
And then look them up through there. And to see,
like.
yeah,
See, I know,
to see
like-
if there's more going on. You can look more into their lives.
And some dating websites, they
you don't
actually
really
allow you
see-
to link up your Facebook account or your Instagram account so you can see that. But at
Well,
the
that's
same
how
time,
Tinder is. I think even
you
Bumble,
can still
right?
lie. You've seen catfish. You can still lie on
Yeah.
Facebook and your Instagram. Just sign somebody
Well,
else's
because on
account.
Tinder, because Tinder will tell you if you guys have mutual friends too,
Yeah.
for your Facebook accounts.
But I feel like,
Yeah.
honestly, dating
Yeah.
websites want to get real.
Well,
Create like a FaceTime option. Let me know if it's real, right? When I swipe right and we
well,
connect.
a video
A video
messaging,
chat or something. That would be really
chatting.
cool.
Yeah.
So, but right now, after my first day, my date was today. I feel like it could be something, but you know,
Gotta wait.
gotta
Yeah,
wait,
turn
gotta
them,
see.
move it
So,
down.
I feel like for me, it was a success because I was able to find someone where I can genuinely say like potentially I could probably be with that person. Now it's just up in my hands. So I thank social media or dating websites for that, because at first it wasn't really like that, because again you have like certain people, and again Tinder was very known for just people who were trying to fuck. And my whole thing is like, I want something real. You know what I'm saying? I ain't just trying to be out
Well, I'm
here
gonna
in the
stick
streets.
up for Tinder and say that there are people who
But
I
yes.
have dated,
Yes.
and like I can say that we were just friends after
Yeah.
we weren't like connect like that, but cool to still be friends, like cool people to be friends with.
And the cool thing about it too is that most of the profiles will let you know, like, I'm not that type of person. I don't want to do that, or they'll let you know, like, this is what it is. Like, I'm trying to do this.
I'm here to
Yeah.
have fun.
Right, I'm here to have fun.
I'm DTF.
Right.
Like, oh, okay,
All right, cool.
swipe left.
Right. So some people, which I appreciate, because you are on a dating website, you can be more open about it and not be like, oh my gosh, really? It's just like, all right, cool. That's your preference. That's your prerogative. Go ahead. If not, swipe left, swipe right. So my experience, it was chill. But for me though, I'm the type of person, and it goes back into like who I am. I focus. So with the girl that I connected with, I kind of stopped using the rest of the dating websites. It was just focusing on her, which is where I feel like I lacked in the experiment, because I feel like I should have kept trying for other ones, because I did get other hit-ups, but I was like, nah, this one's really cool because we had so much in common, like we're really connecting.
See, I can vouch for that too. Because as soon as I started talking to somebody, I was like, oh, okay. And what I did right away, when I felt that connection with somebody, I was like, I'm going to delete the apps. That's what I did. So that's why I felt like at the same time, like, oh shoot, like
you
I
passed
lacked.
up some potentials.
Yeah,
Backup
so.
plans.
Yeah,
but.
honestly, yeah. I was like, honestly, yeah.
I mean, that didn't work.
Right. Let me re-download Tinder.
Right, start over again.
Do my whole profile
There's
now.
like a what, deactivate, and then like a, like you could pause it too, right? Like
Yeah.
on Tinder or something like
Yeah,
that?
Yeah.
most of them you gotta actually go online and
Deactivate.
deactivate your accounts. You
Oh.
can't just,
You still get the
you know,
emails.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. So, Rosemary,
Alright.
what happened?
Okay, so first of all, I did 2 out of the 3 dating apps. So I did Bumble and Tinder. Tinder, I've done it before. I'm not gonna lie, just to see like, you know, I was just testing the waters to see like, oh, who do I feel like is like a potential for me. But the thing is, like, I saw a lot of my guy friends on there. And, like, I saw their profiles, and it said DTF, and, like, I'm here to have a good time. And I was like, oh, my God, like, you're not the person that I thought I knew. So I was like, okay, so now I know, like, what this app is, like, really for. So at the same time, I kind of, like, you know, I was like, all right, now that I know what it's for, I'm going to just, like, not put myself out there. So that's pretty much what I did. And, like, at the same time, I do have expectations and standards. And, yes, I'm picky. But I feel like, I remember you saying something about you're not always gonna. Would you say you're not always
gonna find everything that's on that list that you want to be exact to have in somebody.
Yeah.
Which is true.
It's not gonna be
It's
there.
impossible.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
Because
so,
we could all take one thing from each guy we've always dated and put them together in one perfect little package.
You still have to.
We'd all be in perfect relationships.
I know. Shoot. But so on Tinder, I think I matched with like 20 people and up. But
I was upset. I didn't get that many matches. I was letting you know. Well, side note. Girls have it different than guys on dating websites. That's just a thing. But go ahead, continue.
okay, so like I matched with someone on Tinder. He was really like good looking and stuff, and like you said, like a lot of his pictures, like he took the time and effort to like, I don't know, like post his stuff out
Right,
there.
show himself.
Yeah, show himself. So, you know, I swiped right. Next thing you know, we're a match. And I was like, okay, cool. So he hit me up. And then he was like, oh, you have a Snapchat. I was like, perfect. Now I could see what he looks like. You know, it's not a catfish or whatever. Minutes later, I received a dick pic. It was a video or whatever. He sent a picture and a video at the same time. Like, bro, like, I got the memo. Like, you don't got to do it twice, you know?
Like,
You want to make sure.
I got different angles, but I got
right
you.
here.
You said the picture was good. I got
Like
the
the
picture.
I got a hook, got a banana peel. I got you want to let you know.
But like the fact that like the picture was like on that little infinity, so like it was there for like a long time.
Oh, so you could just
And
watch
the
it.
video was like repeating over and over, and I
Oh
was
my
like,
God, I'm terrified.
It's on loop.
but
And
the thing is, I
you
opened
gave
it.
him no response.
I ain't gonna lie, I left them on red. This was like at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was getting ready for school, and I was like, oh, you know, I got a Snapchat, or whatever.
It was
Opened
like
it.
a little something for you to wake up to.
He said
Hey,
morning
good
wood.
morning.
He said
Okay.
morning
Morning,
wood.
all right.
Morning wood.
Have a
I
great
got you.
day.
Shoot.
The sun is shining.
Morning would make me feel this way.
Stick
Let's
it
go.
up.
Stick it up.
He did make me feel some type of way. I was like, bro, like I get it. You know, it's Tinder. That's what Tinder is known for. Like, you know, DTF and all that. So like I already had in my head like, okay, we're doing this social experiment. We already know what we got ourselves into.
Right.
So, you know, I already knew. But at the same time, I'm just like, okay, well maybe I could find somebody, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm at this point now where like I'm a full-time student, full-time worker, like I'm really busy. I'm ready to start dating. So that's why I was like, you know what, maybe this social experiment could like benefit us.
Right,
Yeah, so I
right.
was like, okay, let's do it.
What happened?
What happened was, you know, your girl, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a slacker. So like a lot of the people that like slid in my DMs, I would reply back like days later. At the same time, I didn't want to sound too needy, like, oh hey, like, what's up? I'm that person where I take days to reply back. Just because that's just me, you know? I don't know about you, but like I take days to reply back.
Own it. Jump on it. Jump on it.
Okay, Josh.
Because
Rodeo back there.
wait.
Rodeo. She in the stands. He trying to rope him in.
Okay.
She watching him go around.
But that just shows the dynamic between a man and a woman in certain situations where, or again, approaching a relationship where the guy usually is the aggressor, so he will make sure I will like either try to bag a date or get what he wants. Versus the girl, she's like, no, I'll make you wait for it, or like you need to take your time because I'm not just don't.
Someone's always a chaser.
Right, and so.
But at the same time, not wait days.
But
to
that's where I was
respond
getting
back.
upset with her because
Okay,
I was
so,
like, okay,
like,
at least wait like
days-
2 hours. 2 hours and you reply.
Yeah,
you wait
like
days.
4 days.
Right.
I'll let him know if it's real if he calls me back. So 4 days, if he don't message me, that means something, you know.
So like
Yeah.
you said, I'm not the chaser. So like I would wait for them to like hit me up and be like, oh hey, or what's up, or hey cutie, or hey, can I have a Snapchat? Then I'll reply back. But for me to be like the go-getter, that's not me. I just sit there and wait.
So that's why Bumble was hard for you, huh?
Hey.
Date wait for the next one.
So that was Tinder. That I received a dick pic and a video. And then there was a couple guys on Tinder too that asked me for my Snapchat. So I was like, okay, here you go. Till this day, I still have them on Snapchat, and I still Snapchat them. We're not gonna do names, right?
No.
Names? No.
No.
Okay. So this other guy, he asked me for my number. I gave it to him or whatever, and then we were texting for a little bit, and it just one thing led to another where it said, oh, blah blah blah, wanted to FaceTime. I was like, oh my god. I was like, this is really happening right now. Like I didn't have any makeup on, my hair was in a bun, I was studying. I was like, he's really catching me off guard. So I run in my room and stuff, and I'm like, with the lights off and trying to look somewhat decent. And he FaceTimes me, and he was like, it is you. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, am I, like, you thought I was a catfish? And he was like, yeah. He was like, a lot of girls on Tinder, like, they're not who they say they are. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't know how to take that because, like, me, I don't know. I wouldn't want to like impersonate somebody else. Like I'm me, So like, not that I got discouraged, but I was like, oh, okay, like yeah, it's me. Like,
All right, you
like,
found out.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
This is me.
And
So I
like,
gotta go now.
like, yeah, so like. Oh god. So like that was one day, and like the next day we FaceTime again, and like we kept FaceTiming, but like I'm like with my work and school, like I'm a very busy person, so like I kind of just like stopped texting him. But we do Snapchat. But like he did say, he was like, well, whenever you're free, just hit me up. So like I
So are
might.
you ever gonna be free?
Yeah.
I never hit him up.
Because you keep using that. I'm a very busy person. So that means
Because
you're not,
you work
you don't
extra
wanna-
days that you don't have to work.
Okay,
So let me
and
say
he did
something.
tell me that.
Let me
He
say
did-
something. Let me say something real quick.
Get off my head.
No, I'm gonna get on it. I'm gonna get on it.
Tell us,
The
John.
reason why, because my dad was the same reason with the situation with the girl I was talking to, because she let me on for a couple of days, and I said, let me just, hold on. But my whole thing is that you will make time for someone you feel is worth making time for. And so with that being said, if it's something that you really want to do, you'll make time for what you want to,
If it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, hey,
I'm saying.
I'm going to be over here. Do you have time to meet up real quick?
And it showed through my situation because, girl, I gave her the ultimatum because she let me on for 3 dates.
He was
And
going to call it on this date.
right, and every time
He
we
was
made
gonna
a
be
date, every
okay.
time we made a date, she had to say like she couldn't make it until like the last time after the third date. I was like, okay, like honestly, I want to meet you, but at this point, I can't keep doing this until I let her know. And she's like, all right, like for real, like I really want to meet with you, and it happened. So I feel like because I gave that like real life situation, like you know you're gonna lose me because I'm not no regular type of dude. Just saying, unicorn.
Easy Jim.
But anyway, come on now.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
Diamond.
she made time for it, even though we went on the date and she was sick. She was like, I was sick, but because I know that I want to hang out with you, like I was going to cancel. And I was like, amen. And so again, you make time for what you want. And so therefore,
You didn't make time for anything because you didn't want nothing.
Yeah. You need to make time for yourself. You're
True.
working and going to school. You don't have to do that extra day.
so he's not the
Not all
right
the
contender.
time.
Because if he was the
Take
right
one out
contender,
and
you'd be
go.
like, Friday night at 8 o'clock. Like,
See, but like with him, like he would text me and be like, "So when are you free?" Like he's the one, like the
The
go get,
aggressive.
yeah,
Okay.
like asking me and like I think I think what it is like I'm scared.
mm.
Scared of what?
I don't know.
Okay, so I know fears, like with me, fears were like, dude, you could be like a stalker, some kind
Yeah,
of serial
like stuff
killer.
like
Yeah,
that too.
yeah.
Okay, so
It's
public
being
places.
vulnerable, and that's the thing too. I feel like about dating websites is you're being vulnerable at the same time because you're meeting someone first, well, you never met before, first and
Yeah.
foremost, and then at the same time you're talking meeting up. So again, some vulnerability, like I don't know who you are, but I'm still trying to talk to you and like let you know about myself, and so I can understand because even like the situation with my date, she was saying the reason why she got on the social media or dating websites was because she wanted to be more open. And so I talked to her about it. I was like, okay, is this hard for you right now? Because then you're on a date and like, you know, we met online. She's like, honestly, yes. So I can understand that it is kind of hard. And again, you're being vulnerable. So it is a hard situation. But again, you have to let yourself be open. And I feel that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, you gotta put yourself out there sometime.
So it was our date was supposed to be at 7, and he texted me at 6:30, and he was like, "Hey, I'm sorry, but I got a flat. I'm out here in Hemet." And my thing was, what really discouraged me was the fact that because he was like, "Oh, where do you live?" And I was like, "Oh, well, I live in San Bernardino." I don't know if that had anything to do with the fact that he flaked on our date because I'm from San Bernardino. In my head, I was like, bro,
They're
like
dirty Pino.
we're not all the same. Like I actually go to work and I go to school. Like I'm not like other girls and stuff. So like I felt like it really started to like fuck with me mentally because I'm just like, okay, well obviously he has a type. He's not gonna date somebody from like a certain city. And I was like, okay, well I don't know if this was his way of like rejecting me, like, oh, I don't want to talk to you anymore because you're from San Bernardino or whatever. But I told him, I was like, I'll meet you there. Like, you don't have to come pick me up. I'm also that type of girl too, where I'll meet you there because I feel like if I meat you there, I can leave whenever I want.
Yeah.
Get that
So
phone call.
yeah, like I can leave whenever I want. Like I for real. No, for real. Like that's why I drive myself because like I could leave whenever I want. If I feel uncomfortable, if I feel like this is not going anywhere, I could leave.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he texted me like 30 minutes before our date, and he was like, "Yeah, I got a flat." I was like, in my head, I was like, all of a sudden, like you got a flat, 30 minutes before our date, like. All right, so I didn't even hit him back up, even though he was the one that was like, okay, well, we should reschedule. What I told him, I was like, all right, cool, drive safe, because it was raining or whatever. But then at the same time, I did learn this in my psychology class where I can't just jump into assumptions, you know? Like, did he really have a flat? Like, it really was raining outside, you know? Is he really out in Hemet or whatever? But then my mind was more like, nah, bitch. Like, you know, he started
On the
telling me.
street, he's thinking about my car. He knew what he wanted. He
This
didn't
is my
want me.
neighborhood. He said, nah, this ain't for me.
Like, I
This ain't
really
it.
started to like discourage myself. Like, is it because I'm from San Bernardino? Is it because I'm Hispanic?
So did you
like,
ever talk to him again?
No,
You didn't text him and say like, "Hey, did you get your tire fixed?
Did you
make
make
it
it
back
home
safe?"
safe?
no. I told him, hey, drive safe, and he didn't text me back. So he was the one that didn't like text me back at all. So that's why I was more like, man, like. Then again, I was like, okay, well, I got rejected. Cool, move on. I still have those other 3 guys to fall back on.
So maybe you should have the next day text to see what was going on. Like sometimes
Hey, did you
you
make it
have
okay?
to be the aggressor. Like
I
just
could've.
like women are shy, guys are shy too. So sometimes you
But
gotta
he seemed more of
make
like the
the move.
go-getter.
okay. But
Okay.
sometimes guys
Sometimes
like to
do
be
that.
chased.
Yeah, they like to be chased.
I don't do that.
I like to.
I like to be chased. I ain't gonna lie.
Bro,
I'll sit
Like to see
here
your
and wait.
interest.
show me your features. Respond back to my texts.
Even when you get in a relationship, you're gonna have to let your guy feel like he's wanted, like you still want him.
But like,
You can't just be like, oh, okay, I got you. So, okay, I got you. You're not going nowhere. There's no need for me to do anything. I'm just gonna sit back here and I'm gonna.
But like that's the thing, I know like what I want. Even though it was just a date or whatever, and the fact that he flaked, I think that's what it was for me. I was like, all right, well he flaked. I just drew the line. I was like, whatever. Like I literally just went in like shutdown mode. I was like, really, bro? Like I gave you my number. We texted for a couple of days.
You can't do
Like,
that. You can't do
I
that.
know I can, but
You gotta let that go. You gotta let that
I
go.
know, but it's more like you flaked on me. You could have like at least texted me back. He could have been like, "Oh, thank you," or "Thanks for understanding," but he didn't even say that.
If he really did have a flat tire, he's dealing with the flat tire, trying to get himself home where it's raining. All he's thinking is getting home. And I know me, if someone texts me and I don't text back right then, sometimes I forget that people text me until somebody else texts me and I happen to scroll past that text. And then be like, oh my God, like I never responded back to that person. So you can't just put that on that he was lying.
Next thing be
Because
like, hey, you all right?
If you got a flat tire in the rain,
I
are you
could've done
worried
that.
about responding back to somebody? You trying to get yourself out the rain and get yourself home? Are you worried about responding back? Like, okay.
But like my thing was like, did you really have a flat, or was he just saying that just
Let's
to like?
text him now.
Let's just call
What
it.
time is it right now? Is it midnight? It's
Oh,
midnight.
it's midnight. No, that's
Oh, no, that's a work time.
No,
Work hours. This is
Never
work hours.
mind.
Hey, are you
He
okay?
gonna be like, I don't have a flat bike. You still come down.
So how about you just hit him up just to say, hey, just wanted to check on you, see how things
I haven't
are
heard from you
going.
since a flat tire. Hope you're okay.
You know?
But is it weird if like I don't care? That's my thing. Like I
It's
just
not
don't-
weird if you don't care, but it's just, you know,
Is it just to
it'll
build up
kind
a
of like make
conversation?
you, but it'll kind of make you at ease, like, oh, okay, I was really not tripping, like he really had a flat
Oh,
tire.
yeah.
It wasn't because
You know?
I was from San Bernardino.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like he had a flat tire and he's good. Like he doesn't want to talk to me. Okay, I'm cool with that. Leave it at that. You
So
know,
just to, like,
because you hyped this up like, oh my god,
Yeah.
it was me.
It's cool.
In conclusion, tune into our next show in 2 weeks. We want to thank Rosemary and Josh for joining us to their experience on their dating site.
We're still single.
And they're both still single.
100%.
So
So if anyone's looking, you know, just
The
comment,
_slush
message
_
us.
Instagram.
and we will get you their contact information.
I'm here for you.
Instagram.
enjoy and good night.
Good night.